Question. At an incident, how could you help a small child who isn't breathing? A. Talk to them confidently until an ambulance arrives. B. Open their airway and begin CPR. C. Put them in the recovery position and slap their back. D. Find their parents and explain what's happening.
Correct option is B. Open their airway and begin CPR. For a small child who isn't breathing, open the airway and start CPR, using one hand and shallower compressions than for an adult. Continue until breathing resumes or a professional takes over.
At an incident, a casualty is unconscious but breathing. When should you move them? A. When bystanders offer to help you. B. When bystanders tell you to move them. C. When there's a risk of further danger. D. When an ambulance is on its way.
Correct option is C. When there's risk of further danger. Explanation. Move an unconscious but breathing casualty only if there's further danger, for example, traffic or fire. Unnecessary movement can worsen injuries. Don't remove a motorcyclist's helmet unless essential.
What should you do if an instrument panel warning light comes on while you're driving? A. Check out the problem quickly and safely. B. Continue if the engine sounds all right. C. Hope that it's just a temporary electrical fault. D. Deal with the problem when there's more time.
Correct option is A. Check out the problem quickly and safely. Explanation. An illuminated warning light may mean your car is unsafe to drive. Investigate promptly and safely. If unsure, get a qualified mechanic to check it.
What's the first thing you must do if you have a collision while you're driving your car? A. Call your insurance company. B. Stop only if someone waves at you. C. Call the emergency services. D. Stop at the scene of the incident.
Correct option is D. Stop at the scene of the incident. Explanation. By law, you must stop if a collision causes damage or injury and give your details and the vehicle owners and registration to anyone with reasonable grounds to request them.
What should you do before you tow a trailer for the first time? A. Take professional training. B. Ask DVLA to update your license. C. Fit P plates to your trailer. D. Pass a special driving test.
Correct option is A. Take professional training. Explanation. Before towing for the first time, get accredited training. Safe hitching, checks, reversing and dealing with problems, building safety and confidence.
What must you do when you hitch an unbraked trailer to a towing vehicle? A. Grease the tow ball and hitch. B. Switch off the reversing sensor on the towing vehicle. C. Fit a secondary coupling device. D. Make sure you can see the trailer in the mirrors.
Correct option is C. Fit a secondary coupling device. Explanation. With an unbraked trailer, fit a secondary coupling, for example, a safety chain, so the trailer remains attached if the tow hitch fails.
What does this sign mean? A. Stopping place for large vehicles. B. Stopping place for all vehicles. C. Stopping place for local buses from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. D. Stopping place for tourist buses.
Correct option is D. Stopping place for tourist buses. Explanation. This sign marks a stopping place for tourist buses so passengers can take photographs.
What does this yellow panel indicate? A. Parking restrictions. B. Exit restrictions. C. Waiting restrictions. D. Entry restrictions.
Correct option is C. Waiting restrictions. The yellow panel indicates there are waiting restrictions within the zone.
Question. At traffic lights, What does it mean when the amber light shows on its own? A. Go if the way is clear. B. Prepare to go. C. Stop at the stop line. D. Go if no pedestrians are crossing.
Correct option C. Stop at the stop line. Amber on its own means stop. Red follows next. Only continue if you've already crossed the stop line or stopping would cause a collision.
Question. You're in the left-hand lane at traffic lights, waiting to turn left. Which signal means you must wait? A. B. C. D.
Correct option B. A red filter arrow for your lane. Filter lights control specific lanes. A red filter for your lane means you must wait. Proceed only when your green filter shows and the way is clear.
Question. Who has priority when traffic lights are out of order? A. Traffic turning right. B. Traffic going straight on. C. Traffic turning left. D. Nobody.
Correct option D. Nobody. Treat the junction as an unmarked crossroads when lights are out. No one has priority. Proceed with caution and be prepared to give way or stop.
Why does this junction have a stop sign and a stop line on the road? A. It's a busy junction. B. Speed on the major road is de-restricted. C. Visibility along the major road is restricted. D. The junction is on a downhill gradient.
Correct option is C. Visibility along the major road is restricted. Explanation. A stop sign with a solid stop line is used where emerging drivers have very restricted view. You must stop and check carefully before you emerge.
Question. Where would you find green reflective studs on a motorway? A. Separating driving lanes. B. Between the carriageway and the central reservation. C. At slip road entrances and exits. D. Between the hard shoulder and the carriageway.
Correct option is C. At slip road entrances and exits. Explanation. Green reflective studs mark slip road entrances and exits, helping you judge position at night or in poor visibility.
Question. What should you do when you see this sign as you travel along a motorway? A. Change lane. B. Leave the motorway at the next exit. C. Turn left immediately. D. Move onto the hard shoulder.
Correct option is B. Leave the motorway at the next exit. Explanation. The sign indicates the motorway is closed ahead. Move into the left-hand lane early and leave at the next exit. Don't leave it to the last moment.
Question. What does this sign mean? A. Lane ends ahead. B. End of motorway. C. End of restriction. D. Free recovery ends.
Correct option is C. End of restriction. Explanation. Temporary restrictions on motorways are shown with flashing amber lights. At the end, you'll see the end of restriction sign without flashing lights.
What's the maximum fine for driving or riding without insurance? A. £5,000. B. £1,000. C. £500. D. Unlimited.
Correct option is D. Unlimited. Explanation. Driving or riding without insurance is a serious offence. The fine can be unlimited and you may be disqualified or get penalty points.
Who's responsible for paying the vehicle tax? A. The car dealer. B. The driver of the vehicle. C. The registered keeper of the vehicle. D. The driver and vehicle licensing agency.
Correct option is C, the registered keeper of the vehicle. Explanation. The registered keeper must pay vehicle tax or make a statutory off-road notification, SORN, if the vehicle is kept untaxed and off the road.
When could the cost of your insurance be reduced? A. When you're under 25 years old. B. When you don't wear glasses. C. When you pass the driving test first time. D. When you complete the Pass Plus scheme.
Correct option is D, when you complete the Pass Plus scheme. Explanation. Pass Plus gives additional training for newly qualified drivers, is recognized by many insurers and can reduce premiums while improving skills.
There's been a collision. How can you help a driver who's suffering from shock? A. Give them a drink. B. Offer them a cigarette. C. Reassure them confidently. D. Ask who caused the incident.
Correct option is C, reassured him confidently. Explanation. A casualty suffering from shock may have injuries that aren't obvious. Call emergency services, stay with them, and reassure them until help arrives.
Question. You're at the front of a queue of traffic waiting to turn right into a side road. Why is it important to check your right mirror just before turning? A. To check for overtaking vehicles. B. To check for emerging traffic. C. To make sure the side road is clear. D. To look for pedestrians about to cross.
Correct option A. To check for overtaking vehicles. A motorcyclist could be riding along the outside of the queue. Always check the right mirror just before turning.
Question. You've stopped at a pelican crossing. What should you do if a disabled person is crossing slowly in front of you and the lights change to green? A. Sound your horn. B. Edge forward slowly. C. Drive in front of them. D. Wait for them to finish crossing.
Correct option D. Wait for them to finish crossing. At a pelican crossing, green means proceed only if the crossing is clear. If someone is still crossing, be patient and wait.
Question. What should you do if you overtake a cyclist when it's very windy? A. Allow extra room. B. Overtake very slowly. C. Keep close as you pass. D. Sound your horn repeatedly.
Correct option A. Allow extra room. High winds can blow cyclists and motorcyclists off course. Give them plenty of room. Passing too close can create a draft and unbalance the rider.
Question. Why could it be dangerous to keep the clutch down or select neutral for long periods while you're driving? A. It will wear tires out more quickly. B. You'll have less steering and braking control. C. Fuel spillage will occur. D. Engine damage may be caused.
Correct option B. You'll have less steering and braking control. Keeping the clutch down or coasting in neutral reduces control over steering and braking, especially on downhill slopes where speed can quickly build up.
Question. You're driving on an icy road. What distance from the car in front should you drive? A. 8 times the normal distance.
B, 10 times the normal distance. C, 4 times the normal distance. D, 6 times the normal distance.
Correct option B, 10 times the normal distance. On icy roads, stopping distances can be up to 10 times greater than on dry roads, so leave about 10 times the normal gap.
What colour are the reflective studs between a motorway and a slip road? A, red. B, amber. C, white. D, green.
Correct option D, green. Reflective studs change from red to green where there's a slip road, helping you identify slip roads when visibility is poor or at night.
On a 3-lane motorway, which lane should you use if there's no traffic ahead? A, right. B, either the right or centre. C, centre. D, left.
Correct option D, left. On a 3-lane motorway, you should travel in the left-hand lane unless overtaking, regardless of your speed.
You're driving in the right-hand lane of a 3-lane motorway. What do these overhead signs mean? A, leave the motorway at the next exit. B, use the hard shoulder until you've passed the hazard. C, there are roadworks 50 meters or 55 yards ahead. D, move to the left and reduce your speed to 50 miles per hour.
Correct option D, move to the left and reduce your speed to 50 miles per hour. Obey the overhead signs even if no hazard is visible. Move left and slow to 50 miles per hour as there may be queues or a hidden danger ahead.
Which vehicle might have to take a different course from normal at a roundabout? A, long vehicle. B, sports car. C, van. D, estate car.
Correct option A, long vehicle. Long vehicles may need to straddle lanes on or approaching a roundabout to keep the rear wheels off the curb. Stay well back and give them room.
You're traveling along a residential street. There are parked vehicles on the left-hand side. Why should you keep your speed down? A, so that oncoming traffic can see you more clearly. B, you may set off car alarms. C, there may be delivery lorries on the street. D, children may run out from between the vehicles.
Correct option D, children may run out from between the vehicles. In residential streets with parked cars, travel slowly and carefully. Children may run out, doors may open, and vehicles, including cycles and motorcycles, may pull out.
What should you do if the amber lights come on and a warning sounds while you're driving over a level crossing? A, get everyone out of the vehicle immediately. B, stop and reverse back to clear the crossing. C, keep going and clear the crossing. D, stop immediately and use your hazard warning lights.
Correct option C, keep going and clear the crossing. If the amber lights and warning sound while you're on the crossing, continue and clear it. When approaching, you must stop at amber unless it's unsafe. Red flashing lights mean stop.
Question: what does this sign mean? A. New speed limit 20 miles per hour. B. No vehicles over 30 tons. C. Minimum speed limit 30 miles per hour. D. End of 20 miles per hour zone.
Correct option D. End of 20 mile per hour zone. This sign marks the end of the 20 mile per hour zone and the start of a 30 mile per hour restriction. Check for hazards and increase speed only if safe.
Question: what does this sign mean? A. Cattle grid ahead. B. Level crossing with gate or barrier. C. Level crossing without gate or barrier. D. Gated road ahead.
Correct option B. Level crossing with gate or barrier. Some crossings have gates but no attendant or signals. Stop, look both ways, listen, and ensure no train is approaching. Use the telephone to contact the signal operator if provided.
Question: what does this sign mean? A. Change to the left-hand lane. B. One-way street. C. Contraflow system. D. Leave at the next exit.
Correct option C. Contraflow system. In a contraflow, using the right-hand lane can place you next to oncoming traffic without a permanent barrier. Observe speed limits and keep a good following distance.
Whilst you are driving, you spot this sign. What does it tell you? A. An upcoming tunnel. B. The road is uneven. C. An upcoming bridge. D. Water spillage on road.
Correct option C. An upcoming bridge. The triangular warning sign indicates a hump bridge ahead.
What does this sign tell you? A. No vehicles over the length shown may pass the sign. B. No vehicles over the height shown may pass the sign. C. Any vehicles may pass the sign. D. Only vehicles over the height shown may pass the sign.
Correct option B. No vehicles over the height shown may pass the sign. Vehicles exceeding the height shown may not pass. The height is given in metric and imperial units.
When the windscreen pillars cause a serious obstruction to your view. A. When you're driving on a dual carriageway. B. When you're approaching a one-way street. C. When you're approaching bends and junctions. D. When you're driving on a motorway.
Correct option C. When you're approaching bends and junctions. Windscreen pillars can obstruct your view, especially at bends and junctions. Watch for cyclists, motorcyclists, and pedestrians.
What must you do when the amber light is flashing at a pelican crossing? A. Give way to pedestrians waiting to cross. B. Stop and wait for the green light. C. Give way to pedestrians already on the crossing. D. Stop and wait for the red light.
Correct option C. Give way to pedestrians already on the crossing. At a pelican crossing, a flashing amber means give way to pedestrians already on the crossing. If it's clear, you may proceed. Pelican crossings have no red and amber phase.
When are you not allowed to sound your vehicle's horn? A. Between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. in a built-up area. B. At any time in a built-up area. C. Between 11:30 p.m. and 7 a.m. in a built-up area. D. Between 11:30 p.m. and 6 a.m. on any road.
Correct option C. Between 11:30 p.m. and 7 a.m. in a built-up area. It's illegal to sound your horn in a built-up area between 11:30 p.m. and 7 a.m., except when another road user poses a danger.
When should tire pressures be checked? A. When tires are cold. B. After traveling at high speed. C. When tires are hot. D. After any lengthy journey.
Correct option A. When tires are cold. Check tire pressures when the tires are cold to get an accurate reading. Heat from driving increases pressure.
You need to top up your battery with distilled water. What level should you fill it to? A. Halfway up the battery. B. The top of the battery. C. Just above the cell plates. D. Just below the cell plates.
Correct option C. Just above the cell plates. Top up with distilled water so each cell plate is covered, just above the cell plates.
What makes your tires illegal? A. If they were bought second-hand. B. If they have different tread patterns. C. If they're of different makes. D. If they have any large, deep cuts in the sidewall.
Correct option D. If they have any large, deep cuts in the sidewall. Large, deep cuts in the tire sidewall make the tire illegal. Different treads and makes and second-hand tires are acceptable if in good condition. Check inner and outer sidewalls for cuts and bulges.
What's most likely to waste fuel? A. Underinflated tires. B. Reducing your speed. C. Driving on motorways. D. Using different brands of fuel.
Correct option A. Underinflated tires. Underinflated tires waste fuel and cause unnecessary pollution. Keep tires correctly inflated, remove unnecessary weight, and take off any unused roof rack.
Question: what will reduce fuel consumption? A. Staying in lower gears. B. Late and heavy braking. C. Accelerating rapidly. D. Driving more slowly.
Correct option D. Driving more slowly. A steady lower speed in an appropriate high gear reduces fuel use. Harsh braking, frequent gear changes, and rapid acceleration increase consumption.
Question: what should you do when you leave your car unattended for a few minutes? A. Switch the engine off but leave the key in. B. Park near a traffic warden. C. Lock it and remove the key. D. Leave the engine running.
Correct option C. Lock it and remove the key. Always switch off the engine, remove the key, and lock your car even if you're leaving it only for a few minutes.
Question: what's the legal minimum tread depth for tires on your trailer or caravan? A. 2.6 millimeters. B. 1 millimeter. C. 1.6 millimeters. D. 2 millimeters.
Correct option C. 1.6 millimeters. Legal minimum tread depth is 1.6 millimeters across the central 3/4 of the breadth and around the entire circumference. Also check pressures and general condition.
Question: you're about to go down a steep hill. What should you do to control the speed of your vehicle? A. Select a low gear and avoid using the brakes. B. Select a low gear and use the brakes carefully. C. Select a high gear and use the brakes firmly. D. Select a high gear and use the brakes carefully.
Correct option B. Select a low gear and use the brakes carefully. On steep descents, gravity increases speed and stopping becomes harder. Use a low gear for engine braking and apply the brakes carefully.
Question: what should you do before starting a journey in foggy weather? A. Have a caffeinated drink. B. Wear a high visibility jacket. C. Reduce your tire pressures. D. Allow more time.
Correct option D. Allow more time. Avoid traveling if it isn't necessary. If you must travel, let someone know you'll take longer so they don't worry and you don't feel pressured to rush.
Question: what must you do if your eyesight has become very poor and you no longer meet the driver's eyesight requirements? A. Tell the driver licensing authority. B. Tell your optician. C. Tell the police. D. Tell your doctor.
Correct option A. Tell the licensing authority. If you can't meet the driver's eyesight requirements, you must inform DVLA or DVA in Northern Ireland because poor eyesight seriously affects safe driving.
Question: what must you do if poor health affects your driving? A. Avoid using motorways. B. Inform the licensing authority. C. Always drive accompanied. D. Inform your local police.
Correct option B. Inform the licensing authority. If your health affects your driving, inform DVLA/DVA. They'll assess your situation and decide if you're fit to drive safely.
Question: what's the purpose of these road markings outside a school? A. To ensure children can see and be seen when they're crossing the road. B. To enable parents to pick up or drop off children safely. C. To ensure delivery vehicles have easy access to the school. D. To enable teachers to have clear access to the school.
Correct option A. To ensure children can see and be seen when they're crossing the road. School zigzag markings are there so drivers, riders, children and other pedestrians have a clear view. Don't stop or park on them, even to set down or pick up.